Okay, so it is being recorded. My name is Lori Hayes. I am the UNICEF Director for the Southern Region. Thank you guys for joining us this morning. With us today is Tara Kucher, who is a UNICEF Assistant for the Capital and the Monadnock region. As you know, Renee Brooks is the UNICEF Assistant for the Southern Region. Renee is on vacation at this point, but many of you had asked for us to have a training on the new membership forms. So Tara is going to do a membership nuts and bolts training for us. So Tara.
Yes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go over some of the new information that is going to be available to everybody for this school year. Because of the situation that's going on and everybody may not be going back to school completely, people are doing hybrid classes. We're trying to make it easy for everybody to have all this information available for their members. So what we did this year is we are providing a fillable form. And Lori, you're going to do the share screen, right? So what we'll do is we'll go over all the new paperwork. Some of it is not new, some of it is. What it is, it's going to be a fillable form that's going to be in a PDF, which will be sent to the local leaders. I'm not sure if Renee had sent out the brand new information out already, but if she hasn't, she'll get it out when she gets back from vacation. The new forms, what will happen is the local leader will get it. When you have a new potential member, you will fill in what this person's dues will be. You'll fill in your local dues. You can more than likely fill in a lot of the information before you send it to the new member. What they'll do is they'll fill in all their personal information and they'll sign it. And then they can print it out for themselves and they can email it to our membership and to you as well, so that you'll get a copy of the new form filled out, and we'll get a copy as well, and then we'll put it in there. So what we're trying to do is eliminate the face-to-face with with the new members, not all together, because it's very important that you do speak with your new members and your members in general. But we're trying to make it so it's easier for everybody to get your membership form signed. So I don't know, Lori, do you want to start putting up?
Yes, please tell me which form I should pull up first.
We can just go down the list. So if you want to do the dues chart first.
Sure.
We'll just do that. So I don't know if everybody is familiar with the chart.
My gosh, 1 second.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yes. Okay. Share. Okay. Can everybody see that?
Okay, so this is the regular dues chart that we use. I don't know if you're all familiar with it. As you see, it's color coded. The green is the professional, which are teachers, nurses, anybody in that category. As you do see, the dues did go up a little bit this year. And then when you go down to the blue, we do have the ESP. And then they have the reserved membership there in the orange, and retired membership there. And they have the inspiring educator. Does anybody have any questions on the steps?
I just have a question on the difference between the retired the retired lifetime and the pre-retired. Does it have to do with the age of the person?
Yes, I believe you have to be at least 45 to be part of the retired.
Okay. So you need to be old to get so the difference between that and the life membership is you need to be at least able to collect Social Security to get the life membership.
Yes, the lifetime membership is what you would pay for. So if you were going to retire, So if you were retiring at the end of this school year and you said that that you wanted to be part of the lifetime membership, you would pay the one-time fee, and then as soon as you retired, it would get switched over. And the pre-retired is if you're 45 years old and you still have a while before you retire and you want to lock in your rate now, you would purchase the pre-retirement.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
This is Danielle from Litchfield. I just had a quick question. So I have a member that did the lifetime the lifetime retired for the 400. So she does not have to pay anything to the NEA, correct?
Right. If she's already paid in the lifetime retirement, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Does everybody understand about the ESP first year, second year? Great. Okay. Tara, I think the next form was this one.
Okay, so if everybody wants to take a look at the screen, this is the brand new membership form. So if you had put in your membership material order, you'll actually receive paper forms, which is good if you have people that are not comfortable with putting their information out online. If you notice the form this year, it has changed a little bit. If you can look at the top, there you do see the 2 new check boxes up there. Normally they were spread out throughout the membership form. You do need to make sure that these forms are filled out correctly, because if they are not, we are unable, because of legal reasons, we are unable to process them. So it's very important that every aspect of this form is filled out correctly. On one of the other slides, you'll see that there's arrows pointing to all the information that is basically really needed to be filled out, that needs to be filled out in order for us to process. So the top part of it, it says that you want to have them check it, and all they're doing is that they're agreeing that they want to join the local that they're joining, and that they are agreeing that they want to join NEA New Hampshire and the National Education Association. That's the first one. The second one that they're checking off is that they're agreeing to pay any of the annual dues for all 3 of the associations that they're agreeing to join, that they checked previously above, which is the local dues, if that applies, the NEA dues, and the NEA New Hampshire dues. So when they check that, they are agreeing to it. Then they need to go and this form also has 2 points of signature, just like the last form. You can see in the blue area, that's the first line that they need to sign. It's very important that they sign these forms, because if even one of the signatures is not there, we cannot process it. And then they're going to go, just like on any other form that they had and the members had filled out, they're going to need to fill out their name, their gender. If you notice that the Social Security last 4 digits is missing off this form, we will not be asking for that anymore. But they do have to fill out all the rest. And then they will have to fill out the membership type, code, and category, which you'll find on the dues chart. Now, if you have any questions on what your member you should be, just contact Renee when you're filling it out, and she'll be more than happy to try to help you to figure out what type of membership that they need to be. And then you have
Tara, this information here is found on this form, right?
Yes. Yeah.
It's that code and the dues and everything else. So these 2 would have to be very close together. Okay.
Well, see, when Renee sends them out, all the new attachments, you'll see, because this year we're doing a professional membership form and an ESP membership form. So when you send over the attachment to your new member, there's a breakdown now of the actual dues, and it tells you how to determine what type of membership type your member is going to be, which I will show you when we get to that. And it's very helpful, and it also gives you the list of, you know, the job, job categories, and yeah, the job categories and position types. It will tell you everything that it will need to be, and you'll see them on the drop down. So now we will move over to the pay method. This is also another important part that needs to be filled out. If they choose to do Easy Pay EFT, they do need to fill out the payment authorization form, which is also, you will see later on as well. That needs to be filled out. If that form does not accompany the membership form, we cannot enroll them in the EFT program. And then if they do choose payroll deduction, as usual, I believe the local is responsible for sending it to the SAU, the copy of the membership form. And then you'll see the membership line in the bottom that needs to be signed as well and dated. And also there's another new feature to the form this year is the local leader does not need to sign the form as they have in previous years. Is there any questions on the form? No? Okay. So if you see on this form here, it does point the arrows to the spots that I was telling you about that do need to be filled in, checked off, signed, and completed. And with these new forms, you will get directions on how to, because it will be an electronic signature.
You want to go to the directions? Well, we can show the NEA ESP form is going to be the very same.
Yes.
And here are the directions.
And the ESP form are exactly the same. The only thing that is different is the drop downs. The professional.
It's Danielle again. What is the difference between the ESP and the regular professional one? Like as far as which people qualify under the ESP?
So go on, Sarah. You're
go ahead, Lauren.
No, you're much better at this.
Well, are you talking of how they fall on like the membership type of what's the difference between?
Yeah, right. Because typically we've had them like professional 100% or 50%, but I've never done the ESP. I'm new to this.
Okay, so the ESP is for the support, like for support staff. Usually some of the custodians are ESP. Is that what you're talking about?
Okay, so that's for the like because I'm in Litchfield, so that's the LSSA contract versus ours.
Yes.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I'm all set. I just the other one. Thank you.
Yeah, and when you send Renee or when Renee sends you this information, she'll let you know that she'll let you know that there's a difference between the two forms. And like I said, the only difference is, I mean, they're both the same form. It's just the drop down. So if you have a teacher and you send them an ESP form, it won't match up to what they need to fill in. So they'll be like, well, I can't, it doesn't make sense to me, and it won't make sense to them because it doesn't apply to them. But I think what will happen is Renee may send you just the professional locals, the professional form, and then the ESP will get the ESP form, which will make it easier.
So do you want to go to the instructions now, Tara?
Yeah, we can go through the instructions. So also you'll get the instructions on how to set up to have an electronic signature, because this does require an electronic signature if you're filling it out electronically. If they don't want to do that, they can always print out the form and fill it out the normal way. But if they want to do it, then they have to go on and make sure they have this. So this is a step-by-step instructions on how to do so. If you want to just scroll down, Lori. So right there, it does show you that everything can be filled in, what can be filled in electronically, which you'll see the check boxes. Also, you'll be able to choose from the drop down there. You'll be able to put the local in there. This is all stuff, if you want, you can pre-fill before you send to your member. I see that it's easier if some of the information gets pre-filled before it's sent out to the new person.
And what that means is that here, a lot of times a new member doesn't know the name of your local association. So it's much easier if you just put the name of your local association in. I know that the UniServe assistants have received the wildest names back from what people thought they heard the name of the association was, but was not actually.
Yes, or they'll put just an abbreviation, but we have multiple locals that have the same abbreviation. So we're like, oh, which one is that? So it would make it easier for everybody if you guys could refill that. That would be helpful, especially to them for that reason. And then they would sign it right there. And then right here, it will show, it shows what you need to do. So once you click on the signature, the box will pop up. And then it shows you step by step on how to set it up. So you're gonna click on the configure digital ID. And then you're gonna create a new digital ID. You're gonna click on that and then continue. You're gonna save the file, click continue. And then you're gonna put your information in there. You're only going to put the name and the email address. And then click continue. And then you are going to save it with the browse. You're going to do the file name is going to be your name and click save. And then you're going to apply a password to protect the digital ID. So I believe when you create the digital ID, and if the local has something that this member can fill out electronically, I believe all they have to do, if it's on Adobe, they have to just put in the password when they need to sign something else with their signature. And then they're going to click save. And then they choose the file. And then they put in their password and they're going to click sign. And then they're going to want to save the membership form. And then on the membership form, it will show their electronic signature. And then you'll see here is the membership type code, which is circled. And you can choose from the drop down whether they're the professional, which they would be either the AC -100 or so on so forth. You would see that it will come in and then it automatically will populate. So I believe the only thing that you would have to add is if they choose to do any of the donations for the Apple Corps.
Or the local dues.
I'm sorry, what was that?
Will they not have to add the local dues here?
Yes, they will have to add the local dues because I believe the only ones that auto-populate are the NEA and the NEA-NH dues. And then they would click on the, down in the bottom on the membership signature. And they would go through the process. They would just click on the file. They would click continue, put in the password, sign, save, and then they would save the document. And just remember this information, you're going to want to send to the new member with the form that you're sending them.
Right. So, Tara, can you tell us what the local can pre-fill?
The local can pre-fill. Let me just take a look at So the local can pre-fill just the association name,
Mm-hmm.
but you don't want to check the boxes. So just the association name. If they know the position and the subject of the member, they can pre-fill that as well.
Okay.
Pre-fill the membership type code with the
Okay.
local use.
Okay.
And I'm not sure if they will already speak with the member prior to it, but I'm sure they will. If they want, they can also pre-fill out the pay method as well, if that's something they want to do.
Okay. And then the new member is required to fill in their signature, so they'll have to go through the steps to create the digital ID configuration required. And then they will also,
They need to pick the boxes too, up at the top.
and check the boxes.
Yep.
And then they will have to fill in that portion about my name, my address, and that kind of thing.
Yes. Yep.
And then the new member will sign off.
Yes.
Okay.
Quick question, can we get a copy of these directions?
Yep.
Yep. You will get these directions. Yes.
Thank you.
So does anybody else have a question about the new form?
I do, Lori.
Okay, thank you, Mary. Go ahead.
And so this new form is only for new members, not existing members?
So yes, the new form is only for new members.
Yes. Yep. It's the same as any other membership form. Any member that you would have joining, you would just have them fill it out.
Okay, thank you.
I have two questions in the chat. I'm sorry, I haven't been able to see that. Kevin says, is this form for new members only? The answer is yes. Members who have always been members don't need to fill out a new membership form every year.
No. Membership is continuous.
Will the directions come with our membership materials? Brenda asked. The answer to that is directions and all of this information will be sent to you by Renee Brooks when she returns on September 1st.
I have another question, Lori.
Sure, Mary.
I seem to recall hearing that people who were once members years ago and then they stopped and now they're coming back this year. They are given the new member
Yes.
discount. Is that true? Okay.
Yes, and they should fill out this form. So
Okay.
if they're rejoining, if these are members that are rejoining, they should fill out the form.
Okay. Thank you.
I think, is that correct, Tara?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Anybody who wants to join your local, have them fill out the form. People who are already members don't need to fill it out.
But that's new that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say that's new that we're allowing people who are rejoining to get that new member
Yes.
discount. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
And it's only for this year.
Okay. But I thought.
So any of the old membership forms that you have, we will no longer be able to accept them. So just make sure that you use this form. Don't use any of the old forms.
These are the three forms that we are now accepting. And as you can see, it says the 2021 membership year at the top.
So when you
So
receive, okay, go ahead.
So we have to wait for Renee to come back from vacation to send out these forms to new members, or would you be able to email those to us so we can get that going?
Do you have members that are looking to join now?
Yes, I have several. that are looking
Oh.
to join, and yeah, they've been emailing me, and I know that she's been super busy up until vacation, so I know she couldn't get everything done. I get that.
Okay.
Please email me with the list of people, and I will be able to check with our UniServe assistant coordinator, and she will be able to help you find the person that can do this. Because Tara's
Okay.
been helping thus far, but I'm sure Tara's probably overwhelmed with the number of
Absolutely.
people that are.
All right. So, Lori, I emailed the both lists to you yesterday, but
Yep.
the one for new members I sent with just their personal emails.
Yep.
Do you want me to update that with their school emails as well?
No need, Danielle. I have already sent that to the UniServe assistant coordinator, and she's seeking a person to help us with that. Thank you.
Yeah, there's two that keep reaching out consistently, so I can email you those members' names. So even if we could just do it, those two, that would be great.
Yes, absolutely. I agreed. I want you to know that, and Tara, you can speak to this as well. These 2021 ESP and professional membership forms begin to work on September 1st.
Correct.
The forms that we have been using this summer are a little different, and those forms go through August 31st. And Tara, maybe you can explain that form a little bit.
The early enrollment forms. So the early enroll, if you have a potential member that signed up with the early enrollment form, their start date would start the date that they had signed the form. So they would get basic membership for until the end of this this cycle, which is August 31st, and then their full membership would start on 9/1. As if you were to have somebody fill out this form, it would go in as a 9/1. So the early enrollment just allows someone to join with some of the benefits of joining the union, and so their enrollment date starts earlier. So if something is to happen, they're in the system as an earlier day instead of 9/1. But the full membership benefit does not start until 9/1 with early enrollment.
So Cindy asked, what form should returning members use? Returning members should use, if they join before August 31st, they will be using a different form, but if they join on September 1st, they'll be using this form. So they'll be treated just like a brand new member.
Yes.
So there are other documents that Tara sent to me yesterday, and I'm gonna bring them up.
So is that, okay, so you'll notice that this is a little different. So this is going to be, these charts here are going to be attached to the membership form that you get for either professional staff or for the ESP staff. So this one is the professional one. You'll notice that this is actually broken down and it only has the professional listed there. And it also has the payment options listed as well. And then if you look under the box here in the blue, now this is very helpful. So if anybody has any questions on what the steps mean or how to figure out if your member qualifies to be on the first time or this first year, second year, just look at that blue box and that shows you the breakdown of how we would figure out if your member is going to be on the first step, second step, if they're 100%, 50%, 25%. Right there, it does tell you exactly what we would say. So you'll have it there for you to review as well. So it kind of helps you out to figure out if they belong where they belong on the membership type. You'll also see the available positions.
Tara, I recently had a question about someone who was 60%. Do they pay 50% of the dues or 100% of the dues?
They're technically supposed to pay 100% of the dues because we wrapped it up.
Okay.
So anything over 50 would be the 100.
Okay.
Unless it was like, if they were 55%, we would put them at 50.
Okay. because speaking with someone else, they mentioned that no, they should be 50%. So, you know, technically that's what that says, but yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's different, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you'll see the available position titles. All of these are the ones that are in the subject titles. These are the ones that are listed in the drop down. These are for the professional membership forms. All of these, this is every category there. So the new member will have to pick from one of those categories in the position titles and the subject titles. Because sometimes we have, when people would just write in the form, they would put a title there that we don't actually have. And then when yellow members, the yellow forms would go out, they're like, we're not that, we're this, but we don't have that in our system. So have them choose, they will have to choose one of these subjects. And then they have the gender and the ethnicity, that's there, that hasn't changed. Yes, there is a bunch of different, I believe there's a couple different categories in the gender this year. You'll see the payment options is listed, and it tells you what the payment options are. It gives you a breakdown of what it is. And then you'll see also on there the NEA New Hampshire payment authorization form, which if your member is signing up for EFT or they choose to do the online credit card, which is only available to November 30th. If they choose to pay for pay with a credit card after November 30th, they will have to fill out the manual form, which you can get a copy of that also from Renee. And then it will get sent to the finance office and they'll process it that way. But if they do choose to do EFT or the online credit card, this form has to be filled out. Even if the member says they're going to go on and log in and put the information in themselves, they still have to choose the box that says they are going to do that themselves and sign it and send it back with the form. Any questions on that form?
I have Brenda wanted to know when the membership materials would be available. The membership materials are going to be mailed out this week. Is that correct? Okay.
Yes, I believe the first batch was sent out yesterday, and the second batch will be out today.
Okay. So this is the ESP form as well. And Tara, did you talk about the new payment authorization?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Did you talk about the new payment authorization, or is that something that we're going to get to?
The authorization form?
The easy pay, but here you go.
Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is the directions, this is the easy pay. If you've had members on easy pay before, you would have received this form. This form, the only thing that had changed on it this year is the link. This link brings you right to the page, so you don't have to go through the NEA website to find the page to log on to get onto your information in for the easy pay. This link takes you right to it, which is great. I think it's wonderful. And it makes it easier for everybody, I think. What you are going to need is the membership ID, which they will receive once Renee enrolls them in the system. She'll send out an email with the membership ID. They will need the home zip code. If they choose to do easy pay or the online credit card form, they do have to have a home email address. It does not accept school email addresses. It has to be a home email address, just so they know. And this will tell you step by step on what you need to do going through. You're going to put your information in there. You're just going to verify that your email address, your home address, your phone number is all correct. You'll click next. The second screen that will display will be their contract information. basically it will have a breakdown of what their dues and what their responsibility is, and then they'll click next. The third screen will display the deductions amount and the number of EFT payments. The system then, it does calculate the amount based on the membership type, so it will break it down for them. The fourth screen, yeah. So the fourth screen, they're going to enter their banking information. So when they go to log on to put their information in, they need to make sure they have a blank check or their credit card with them, because it is going to ask for that information. And once they complete the form, then they hit submit. They will get a confirmation email address from Janice Fitzpatrick, letting them know that everything was submitted and went through. If anything bounces back, we won't know until the first time that the payment tries to come out, and then Janice will more than likely contact the member. The whole process doesn't take very long. It's very easy. It does take only about 5 minutes to be completed. And then I believe the form is attached to that. So you'll see on this form, they have to fill in the local association name. And the reason, and then they need to fill in their name. They'll need to click the box, whether they're doing the EFT or the online. And then you'll see that there's 2 boxes under there. One is it's saying that they agree to enroll online themselves when they receive their membership information. The other is they authorize NEA New Hampshire to do it. So if they authorize NEA New Hampshire to do it, they're going to fill out all the financial information below. And then they also need to sign it where it says member signature. And we did not, we were going back and forth about trying to make this form electronic so that you can send it with the form, but we thought that it wouldn't be a good idea to have people's personal information. So we kept this a paper form for everybody. Is there any questions on the financial off form? Okay. And that right there is the new member benefits flyer that our member benefits Jeff had sent out. You'll also get this as part of your little packet or online information that you're going to get from Renee. What it does, it just goes through and tells you everything that's what your member benefits get you as an NEA member. And it's nice because it does have the hyperlinks you can actually click on them, and it takes you right to online to that section, which is nice. Does anybody have any questions?
I have a question.
Hey, Mary.
Okay. Is it possible to get like what you're showing now, sort of like a PowerPoint, so that we can send out to our members so they can go through what you're showing us right now?
I'm sorry, you were cutting out.
Okay. Is it possible to get what you're showing right now as a link or PowerPoint or something to send to our members so they can sit and go through?
So
Is there a place for it?
all of the attachments?
Mm-hmm.
Once Renee gets back from vacation, what she's going to do is she will send it all. She will send every single document out to you guys in PDF forms. And then if you'd like, you can send it out to whomever you think will need it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So the instruction forms is the form that should be sent with the new member form to your member. So they will have both of these forms that will come to them. And again, because I'm a little dense on membership, I had a question for you, Tara.
Yeah.
So I have a person who says, I want to join. And I say, great, because I have an electronic form. And what I do with the electronic form is I fill out the local association, which is a drop down. I fill out the membership information over here, which are also drop downs. And then I send the form to them with these instructions for how to create a electronic signature.
Correct.
And then they send it back to me electronically.
Yep. What happens at the end of the membership form, there is a print and an email button. You'll see it at the end of the form. I don't know why it's not on that, but on the new membership form, when they receive it, there'll be gray boxes that says print or email. So they're going to want to print a copy for themselves to keep. Then they're going to email it. They're going to email it. It's going to go to the member benefits, which is us. And then it's going to go, and then they're going to want to add whomever they were speaking to from their leadership to the email. So a copy of that will go to them as well. And then the leadership would send it to the payroll if they choose payroll deductions. Oh, and then they're going to want to keep a copy for themselves.
Okay. Okay. So the only thing that I may need to explain to my member more closely is how to do the electronic signature.
Yes.
And which is this form, which is this document, but also how to make sure it comes back to me.
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry, I'm scrolling, guys. I'm just trying to find if it's on this. Yep, here it is.
It's right there. Yep.
So they will either print it and print it if they want, but definitely they need to email it.
Yes.
And and they would determine who they email it to, which is this part, I guess we didn't really see. And then they would email it to whoever they thought it was necessary to email it to.
Yep, you would add them on the CC, so that way they could get a copy of it as well.
So automatically it's emailing to us.
Yes.
And then it would email to whoever else I added here.
Correct.
Okay.
Yep, and they definitely want to print out a copy for themselves to have. With the paper forms, you know how you get the 3 copies. That's pretty much will be your copy.
I'm sorry, I'm going to go back to screen share. Sorry about that. Someone had a question, and I think they put it in the chat, but then they took it away. Did somebody had a question? Oh, okay, good. I'm sorry to be scrolling. I just want to go back up to the top. So are there any other questions about this? I know it sounds brand new, which is, I'm glad Tara was able to come on and share it with us. But I think like everything in our lives right now, it'll be something we get accustomed to. So are there any other questions? Okay, I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Okay, Karen says that Renee already sent this material out and it was dated August 12th in an email. Did everybody receive it? Okay. So she apparently sent it to presidents on August 12th. So hopefully you guys have seen it. I see Kathy also shaking her head. Jim, yep. Okay, good. Great. So that's really good news. That means that it's already out there And then Tara has done a great job of explaining how to use the materials. So again, if you have some people that want to join now, please send me an email with their names and their email addresses, because the form is a little different now than what we just went through for the future. So.
Can I say something, Lori?
Sure.
So when you send Lori, if you have if you have members that are still want to join through early enrollment, when you send Lori then the names and email addresses, if you could please add the membership types as well, so we will know, or whoever the UA is that's sending out the form to the member, so we'll know what dues we need to put in. And also add if you would like your local dues added to it as well, and if so, how much are they? That would be very helpful.
Okay, guys. Are there any other questions? Remember, definitely prior to August 31st, write to me with any membership questions and I'll try to get an answer to you. After August 31st, please write to Renee and she'll be able to help you resolve any membership issues you might have. Okay? All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to stop recording. Oh, recording paused.